We often talk about how Modern's a format where you need to be doing something incredibly powerful. So naturally that has led me to registering the magic card Voice of Resurgence, which everybody knows is one of the most incredibly powerful strategies you can be playing in Modern. So I'm gonna go ahead and hit play match here and settle on in. To be fair, with how many Celestial Colonnades we've played against today, this deck's probably okay against blue-white control. Which I assume means we're about to play against Tron 6 times. But yeah, Scholar, sorry. No, there's no Ghost Quarters in this deck. There's one Field of Ruin and one Ghost Quarter. Wizards is forcing people to play Arena by making your Modern matchups miserable. Yeah, so normally Magic Online leagues are only 5 matches, but if you get Tron'd 5 times in the same league, they give you a special bonus 6 match, so you can get Tron one more time to really question your decisions. Eduardo said a lot of, what do we call them to be neutral on coverage? Eduardo said a lot of interesting things about Modern while he was on coverage. Interesting, I believe, is the vernacular we would use. To be fair, it's hard to do coverage, talk constantly without saying incorrect things. I just don't have any idea how anybody could possibly manage to talk at a camera constantly for many hours at a time. Commentators even get breaks. Don't tell me your job is hard. You know what breaks I get? I take 30-second piss breaks twice a stream for 6 to 8 hours at a crack. I don't want to hear about how their job is hard. There's no way that this matchup is decent for us, right? They have a lot of evasive threats, and I really don't have a lot of interaction, and I don't have a clock to race them on the ground. You don't have to worry about offending your corporate overlords. Paulo's a great Magic player, but by his own admission, he doesn't actually play that much Magic. I was listening to him, Sam Black, and Mike Sigris do the Pro Points podcast, which is very good. I'd recommend listening to it if you're looking for a Magic podcast. I've listened to it a couple of times, and Paulo talked about how he doesn't play Magic for fun. He basically only plays Magic for testing, which I guess. So like if he's not testing for Modern, he probably doesn't play it too much. Yeah, Paulo is, that being said, Paulo is very reasonable in what I listened to this weekend. I didn't watch all of the coverage, but I had it on off and on. He seemed fine. I don't know, I'm sure commentating is difficult. Like what I'm doing, like what I do here is like, there's a lot of multitasking involved here too, right? Yeah, that's true too. Nobody does just Magic commentary full time, but like you could be full time involved in playing Magic though, right? Like you could be deriving your income from it and like doing all Magic stuff all the time. Yeah, Sutcliffe is very good. I'm glad they put him on some constructed things because he mostly does limited, and I'm really not into limited personally, but I've enjoyed Marshall on all of the constructed things that I've watched that he's been on. Let's not get into specifics about, like, a lot of the little things like that lost their goif. I don't know that that's a fair criticism because there's a lot of, like, little things like that are never going to appeal to every individual person. So, like, little tiny preference things like that with, like, how they you know, bring energy to the broadcast, basically. The Pro Points podcast. It's Mike Sigrist, Sam Black, and Paulo Vitor Damandarosa. I think I said all of his names correctly. Paulo, Mike Sigrist, and Sam Black. Sure, and I get that that's your personal opinion, Lost Lurgoy, but it's not constructive, right? It doesn't help change things. It's just like serves just to like shit on someone making something. And I would prefer if we don't just crap on content producers on my channel. That's not welcome here. Yeah, Courser plus Settle combo. Oh, look at that. They passed our Courser, so now they won't know about this other Settle. God bless. You're not affiliated with any particular brand like Channel Fireball or SCG. I guess Cool Stuff Inc. qualifies to some degree. They're ramping up their content stuff. So Cool Stuff Inc. buys and sells Magic singles. They passed on their main phase, probably because they didn't want me to have a Spell Queller, I would assume. Settle the Wreckage looking pretty atrocious here. I guess I'm pathing this now so I don't get got. Am I just holding up this Spell Queller this turn? I think so. To be fair, I think commentating a digital game is incredibly easier than commentating a paper game. As someone who's done commentary for both digital and paper card games, doing commentary on a digital platform is much better. There's much less downtime to fill. Doing paper Magic commentary is very tedious in a lot of ways because of how many loading screens, how much mulliganing, how much shuffling and stuff like that you have to do. One of the reasons why Cedric and Patrick Sullivan are such good commentators is because they play well off of each other and they're able to really fill that downtime in either comedic ways or in ways that add value to what's going on the stream. Would I ever do a Super League? Wizards of the Coast would probably never allow me to be on a Super League. Yes, definitive knowledge of the player's hands is also very good. Agree with that. When I did the game Hex TCG that I played for a while, that was a smaller card game that's all about dead at this point. When Matt and I did commentary for some of their smaller events, and one of the things that was sweet about that game is the way their replay client worked. We were able to control the speed of the replays for the commentary matches that we were doing, that whatever we wanted. So we had the full controlling of the pacing, which was quite awesome. So they have one card left here. So if their last couple of cards are if they have a couple of bricks here, we could maybe have a shot. Especially with just like my grizzly bear army. Go, go, go. No, just my personal opinions and statements have led me to believe that, Streaminator. I feel like I'm a large enough member of the Magic community at this point, from a community perspective, that if they were interested in working with me, they would have reached out by now. Because while I am not the largest Magic streamer here on Twitch, I've been around for a long time. And like, before we had people from real video games come play here, like Nox and Savit that pushed a bunch of us down, I was arguably one of the top 3 in terms of viewed on Twitch for Magic. And I'm not complaining about that. I'm just stating that I'm pretty sure that's just how this is going to work. And like, I don't really need to be buddies with them, right? Like, what I do here has been supported by you all, my wonderful community. I don't really need a handout from them or something special to like make what I do happen here. Well, my grizzly bears are probably better than their 1/1 flyers, so we might have a chance here. Yeah, I am going to Milwaukee, actually. I have secured Danon, one of our subs here, Doug. He is handing me blue-black pirates so I can play at the Grand Prix. So I'm excited about that. The last Grand Prix I played was GP Indy in 2016, so it's been a hot second. Haunt does not present lethal. Haunt needs to exile a creature from their graveyard. And not be upset that you bought the wrong deck. I would play Standard. Like, Legacy is just an expensive format. If you don't have $5,000 to light on fire, I would not recommend getting into Legacy. And there's going to be a bunch of Legacy people that watch that get upset with me, but that's my opinion on it, and you're welcome to disagree with that. Yeah, I agree, Grizz. This is a good example of this deck being awkward. Like, I have these 2 Grizzly Scoozes, and like, I don't have ways to actually kill their creatures. It's a financially irresponsible decision. Proxy Legacy is a great suggestion. Get your LGS to host Proxy Legacy. All right, so they need to block here, which is good for us. So this is actually an important Magic rules reference thing that some newer players may or may not be aware of. If we look at this card, Moorland Haunt, the wording on this is very important. You will notice that the exile a creature from your graveyard on Moorland Haunt is before the colon in Moorland Haunt. What this means is that exiling the creature with Moorland Haunt is part of the cost of putting Moorland Haunt's trigger on the stack. So I am not able to exile the creature that Moorland Haunt is exiling in response with my Scavenging Ooze. If the flip side was true, if the exile a creature was after the colon, I would be able to respond to it with exiling the creature in response, denying them the 1/1. So it's a small thing, that's a mechanical thing that's important to note there, that affects how my interaction can line up here. 4 months and I get a horsey, love the content. Put this for green-black menagerie, sounds good, apprentice. Can I still complain that you didn't ooze in response even though you explained it? Of course. I would. In fact, I'd kind of be disappointed if you didn't. So now we're going to go ahead and exile this one immediately, so that way they don't have a chance to do it with this. In fact, I probably should just Field of Rune this, right? Just like nip that right in the bud. Just like play Mana Dork, Mana Dork. Those are the little things that, like, there's a lot of games where, like, knowing those little things doesn't matter. But there are other games where, you know, those small percentage points add up over time and eventually give you a better chance to top 8 a tournament or do well wherever that you're doing. Nip it in the bud. That's like a gardening reference, right? Like plants have buds. Look at that. Look at that. Topical. Understands. Understands. All right. Hey, Billy Zane Jr., thank you for the 2-month resub. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me employed here. I'm gonna go ahead and just grab this Noble Hierarch now. So if they draw another Moorland Haunt, they can't make a token. All right, so they need 2 blockers here. Have a good one at work, Sean. What does our deck try and do? It tries to play mediocre green and white creatures while splashing blue planeswalkers for card advantage. Oh, you know what? I should have fired this up, right? Get a 3rd lethal attacker. Plays around Collected Company. It might be about time to kick Magic Online. Starts like it's feeling the slow. 2.5 gigabytes of RAM. Let's go ahead and kill it after this match, probably. Give it the old kick in the throat and bounce back. Maybe Worship should be in my deck. It is in my deck, right? I voted in Worship. Yeah, I totally voted in Worship. Okay, I did that. Arena does leak memory. Not quite as badly as Magic Online does, but it does in fact leak memory. Do you plan on playing Golgari Shadow today? We played Golgari Shadow first thing today. So the decks that are listed in the deck queue as today that are no longer listed in my stream title are decks that we have already played. They'll be up on YouTube later, of course. I would keep your expectations low for Golgari Shadow. It was not a good scene. Memory leaks are often incredibly complicated to fix because there are a lot of different things that could be causing the application to leak memory. And it's not like the application is crashing, so it can be hard to trace exactly where in your spaghetti mess of a large application the leak is coming from. Arena crashes before the memory leak is a problem. It's all good. It's funny because it's true. There are tools for helping you trace down memory leaks. They're not as easy as like tracing down a crash. It's not good, Demons. It was very bad, in fact. I have so much fun playing the video game that is Arena. I do often forget to shill. We got some support tickets for slowness and attributed it to memory leaks. Our dev team got the ticket, laughed, and pushed it to the back of the backlog. Yep. Oh, you think the application's leaking memory? Have you considered buying more RAM? Okay, consider doing that. Thank you, friend. Thank you for using our technology. Desrock, thank you for the $10 tip. I appreciate that. Sorry for taking so long earlier. No worries. Thank you for the tip. But I like all my IPs, Andrew. Why would you take my IPs away from me? What are the chances of actually finding a new good modern deck? Slim to none. So I'm going to put a stop on my upkeep here. And the reason why I'm doing that is because during my upkeep, I'm going to activate this Knight of the Reliquary to shuffle this Temple Garden away from the top of my deck because I really would like to not draw land next turn. I agree, Root Samurai. When do you think you're going to get in more practice with elves? I probably won't be prioritizing pushing elves to the top of the queue until a week before the invitational. Got in trouble for calling it a tip. I'm pretty sure my PayPal literally lists it as a tip. Magic Online leaks memory on all platforms. Hexit. Doesn't matter on the details. It's a known issue. And nope. I really don't like team tournaments, and a Players Championship style tournament centered around a tournament series based on team tournaments seems really weird to me. And I got a fetch land here, so that way when there's another land on top of my deck, I can fetch to clear it again. I agree, Technopunk. Feel like there's not enough going on here. My opponent's been stuck on one land, and they're just going to beat us to death in the air very quickly. If they full smash next turn, I potentially kill them on the backswing here, which is good for us. The mono white deck died very, very quickly, Jackal Girl. Settle does get worse when they know about it. You're not wrong. One game it lasted a while because the opponent was partially AFK. It's funny because it's true. They're only at 10, so they're kind of in a precarious spot with this Gavony Township on board. I have 2 Birds of Paradise that I can use as jump blockers this turn to not die in the sky. You can find them on a whitelist on my YouTube page later. I just do this, right? I think activating the township is more important than activating the Wildwood, but maybe I'm misassessing that. You can find them on a whitelist on my Stream Decker page as well as on my YouTube channel later today. They're pretty close to dead, right? So if they block 2 things, I can activate Township plus eat 2 things with Scoos, which is lethal, right? They can eat my graveyard to shrink it. That's true. Is it worth activating my creature land? If I activate the creature land and attack, they can turn these into 3/3s, and then they block this, and then they take 3, 6, 9, and they're not dead. All right, I think I just attack with my ground pounders here. Now, fetching doesn't add damage because of Remorseful Cleric. Yeah, I could just hold up Settle. I think I need to force them off of Noble Hierarchs, though. Because I can't let the Settle the Wreckage get Spell Quellered. They could go block, sack Selfless Spirit, save their Noble Hierarchs. Oh, fetch after... Yeah, that's true. I could also have attacked with the Noble Hierarch for 1.2 here. Yeah, I could have held the fetch up for post-Remorseful Cleric. That's interesting. Yeah, so like, if I would have put the fetch land into play here, I could have killed them, right? Because the fetch land would have put my knights to 4s and the township would have put them to 5s. No, they have Remorseful Cleric to shrink these. Thank you, Homunculus. And I assume blocks like this, they're going to lose their Selfless Spirit and their Remorseful Clerics. There's a lot of factors here for sure. Yep. And like, now I'm not dead on board, right? Like they went to 4 and I'm not dead on board. Bant Midrange has the types of creatures you'd bring home to meet mama. What's going on, Tony? Yeah, it's been a bit. Do you have a flash creature here at end of turn? Alright, so there's one Spell Queller. Yeah, so now we can block 1 with Stirring Wildwood, and I can gain 2 on the Scavenging Ooze. So I'm pretty sure we're in an okay spot here still. Yeah, Queller's 4 or less. So Spell Queller can counter Settle the Wreckage. So if they attack with all of these, I fire up Wildwood and block Drogskull Captain. I wanted to leave Noble Hierarch back because Mausoleum Wanderer counters spells unless I pay mana equal to its power. So I wanted to be able to leave myself the most possible mana to Settle the Wreckage and pay for Mausoleum Wanderer. Blocking Drogskull Captain doesn't kill me because I'm in a virtual 7 right now. Sure. I think that kills me. No, I'm just dead. Oh, I'm not just dead. I get to go to 1. Because in order to counter this, they have to put a 3rd creature in the graveyard. Yeah, and then I go to 8, I take 7, and then I kill them on the backswing. So they sack this gets countered. I eat 3 creatures, go to 8. And untapping, attack for a lethal. Who's a hungry boy? You're a hungry boy. Hungry, hungry Scoos. Yum, 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 yum. Yum, 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 yum. 1 and 0, confirm different numbers. Yep. Hadouken. Alright, that's a sweet game. Had some desertions. Had some desertions in the middle. Alright, let's kill Magic Online real quick here. We almost lost to the 1 land drop draw. You are not wrong. You are not wrong. We also had Animate Wildwood, go to blocks, cast Settle and Survive. I had 3, yeah, you're right. It's also a line. Tron gonna take your candy. Listen, chat, we got our 1 good match of Magic in. It's okay. Can't you just be happy? Can't you be happy with the 1? Can't you just be happy with one of, with our 1 match win? This is a Todd Stevens deck list. This is something, I think he top 16 to open with it. Given that you stream full time, how much would I have to spend to build a PC that can stream once a week? Depends on what you want to stream. Depends on what quality you want to stream in. Listen, I had to bring up that this was Todd's deck. And if you're some kind of scum that wants to support Todd Stevens still, do that on your own time. Use his emotes in my chat, I'm gonna ban you. Zero tolerance, no support of what happened there. It's the closest thing you get to an official statement on me. Don't put that shit in my chat. Will Green Black Elves be played on stream? Yeah, at some point. Played it a bunch on stream in the past. That's definitely the deck that I'm playing at the Invitational, I'm pretty sure. Ooh, we found a Steam Vents deck, chat. It's the deck that actually cares about Voice of Resurgence. Yeah. We're attacking my blue mana. Rude. Yeah, I think Elves has a lot of play to it, and I enjoy playing it too. There's also something to be said, like, Elves is a deck, so this is actually an interesting Magic theory discussion. So Elves is a deck that I would describe as a high floor deck list. And what I mean by that is even when you aren't playing optimally, the deck is doing something powerful enough that you're gonna win games of Magic with it. That doesn't say that the deck is devoid of skill, or if you're a good player, you won't get better results with the archetype, but it does mean that the deck has this raw inherent power to it, that it's just doing something good. CK Lau, thank you for the 8-month resub. Don't forget I do. Modern has games that are very reasonable. That last match that we played against Spirits was very interesting and engaging. It was. Tron is a high floor decklist. Yep, Burn's a high floor decklist. And I think something that a lot of inexperienced Magic or TCG players in general don't understand is that a lot of people, I think, hear a deck basically giving you good results when you start or having a high floor, like the deck is good even when you're kind of medium with it, as meaning the deck doesn't have any skill involved in playing it. And I really think that just couldn't be further from the truth. This is one of the reasons why Path to Exile is such a good card. The flexibility on it is quite fantastic. So I'll deny their 3 life here, use my Path to Exile to do something useful against Jeskai control, and get my blue source from a Spell Queller. Modern. I'm playing the SCG Invitational in December, which is a split standard Modern tournament. Yeah, decks like... An example of a deck that has a very low floor would be something like KCI or Amulet Titan. It's a deck where when you don't have any experience with it, you're probably not going to win any games of Magic. Yeah, I agree. Nice Crow. Could completely concur. I'm going to go ahead and flash this in here. I'm not a huge fan of quelling removal spells, but I kind of want to keep my pressure in play and keep attacking them. Yeah, I agree, Jackal Girl. Generally speaking, control decks tend to be decks that have a lower floor on them because you need to have format knowledge of what's going on to play them optimally. I agree that Legacy Elves is not particularly good for what it's worth. The last time, I can't remember what the last time Legacy tournament I was prepping for, but I had a Legacy tournament to prep for, and I really wanted Elves to be good, and it just was not. It's just not consistent enough. All right, so do I jam the Wallet Sculptor into play, or do I wait a turn to try and hit a 7th mana source? I feel like I'm supposed to wait a turn to try and hit a 7th mana source. No, I think the Queller can help me resolve Jace. And like this deck has so many mana sources in it that I think I want to just like wait a hot second here. Now, I was going back through it, Jackal Girl, I just don't have anything I really want to cut. It's a good card, but I think the ops for a little bit more consistency are important. I don't really want to cut any of my other interaction. So pretty sure I want a plus here. Also pretty sure I want to crack my fetch land. So I'm gonna plus on myself and hold priority and fetch in response, because I don't want to fetch and give them a chance to bolt my Jace. Also, here's a Magic pro tip. I hate when people plus their Jace and go, Fate Seal myself. It's like, no. Fate Sealing explicitly refers to your opponent's deck, friend. When you look at the top of your own deck, it's called scrying. We have a keyword for that too. Do you have any preference on consistency versus power level? Yeah, generally speaking, any deck that you're going to spend the time to like go to a tournament and play, I would prefer that the deck be more consistent rather than less consistent. Going full-time. That's awesome that his content is making enough money for him to be full-time. More full-time content creators is sweet. Do I want to Queller this? I think I want to Queller this. Like, what would writing a book do that, like, just writing weekly articles or streaming doesn't do? Writing a book sounds like an incredible amount of work. You can find lots of, I have a book's worth of articles written. Yeah, I don't think it makes sense to not be, Maxin. Like, more people being successful doing Magic stuff is good for everybody as a whole. I'm gonna hold on to this one Misty Rainforest because there's the old miser Tireless Tracker in our deck. Am I about to get Path to Exiled here? Competition breeds innovation. People who are afraid of other people making the same type of content that they are, like stealing their viewers. Like, well, maybe if somebody else making content is taking your viewers, maybe you should make better content, right? Right. That's how I look at it. Like, if people stop watching me and go watch someone else, I'm gonna go look at what they're doing and figuring out what they're doing that's awesome and why other people are watching them instead. Oh, Knight of the Reliquary. They take away your democracy? Kinda. Like, I literally have more donation decks on this channel that I can ever play through in a lifetime, right? Like, there's a reason why I frequently have to slow the queue and up the price to put decks into it, right? Like, there are lots of people on the internet. And if other people want to do donation decks for $10 a pop, great. That's awesome. I've helped Nox optimize his donation queue. I talked to Ollie last night about setting up a queue for his stream too. Like, the more the merrier, right? Like, there are a lot of people with a lot of awesome deck ideas out there, and there's no way 1, 2, or probably 3 or 4 people streaming Magic full-time could ever churn through all of them. I've played Tron a ton on stream, Blonde Sublagar. You should go to my website. I actually won a couple of the Magic Online challenge events with Tron forever ago. This is, it depends on how long this takes. There's a good chance it's the last deck of the day. Magic Online, because we're locked into leagues, doesn't really give me flexibility to end on an exact time. Yep, he's dead, Jim. I mean, do I play decks no one else would touch? Nox apparently literally doesn't reject decks. I frequently reject decks. Like, I know based on what makes it through to the stream, some people probably won't believe that, but I do in fact send people messages back that say, no, this deck doesn't quite look good enough for me to play. Yeah, I think he's starting to snowball into having enough of them that he'll probably have to start rejecting some, but as of right now, he's been accepting everything. Like, I get overwhelmed with submissions, rejecting things even, so I have to imagine, and he has a higher average viewer count than I do, so I have to imagine he's gonna fill up pretty quick. Nope, you can keep that one. Nox, N-O-X, is it Noxious? He's probably live right now. He streams to a similar schedule I do. He does all standard on Arena. Yeah, Professor Nox Live is his channel. Speculating on what Wizards of the Coast may or may not ban in Modern is kind of just stupid in my opinion. They basically just like throw darts at a board. Yep, Terminus cannot get rid of this walker. I'm not playing out the Noble Hierarch. Might as well just hold it till they play this Terminus. They're gonna 1-for-1 this Terminus with this click. Yeah, he previously streamed Hearthstone. Nox and Savitz are two people that picked up Magic full time with Arena coming around. Just be patient, chat. Just be patient. Yeah, I'm really interested to see how Artifact goes. I feel like if Artifact isn't, it's gonna be interesting to see. I feel like Artifact is really going to allow us to judge how successful Arena is going to be able to be. Because, like, right now, it's new and it's shiny, right? But when other new and shiny things come up, how much longevity does it have? Did you have an invitation to Twitch? I mean, anyone can go to TwitchCon. TwitchCon's an open convention. I agree, Grizz. I even regret some of the ones that I select that are just, like, not good content. I really do not care for how Valve has managed the Artifact pre-beta. I think they've done a very poor job of it. I've heard a lot of people that are in the Artifact beta talk about how it's not a good game, which has also tempered my expectations a bit. Actually, it's funny. I think there's a chance, I think there's probably a chance that if Artifact is successful, or even to some degree, just like the fact that Artifact exists could end up being good for Magic and Arena, right? Because Artifact could potentially drag like Dota players and non-card game players into a card game. And then if it's not amazing, they could go looking for other things with more depth or more intricacy or bigger card pools. And Magic's definitely the best at offering those things. Yeah, I'm playing Blue Black Pirates in Milwaukee. I'll have a primer posted on Cool Stuff Inc. about it this week. I would like to say to this opponent, I appreciate that they're playing quickly. They're within 20 seconds on clock of me in this very long game of Magic. I don't think card games will ever be as mainstream as those large video games, but we definitely have room to grow. Especially having a real digital client now is a huge deal. Yeah, the article previews in Discord 7 crosses. I published it last night. I need to do a final pass for grammar, so like there's probably typos in it, but you know, that comes with the territory. Do you like how I complimented my opponent on playing quickly and then suddenly this? They have a Terminus in their hand, which they need to play because otherwise they're going to die to Noble Hierarch plus Courser next turn. Nissa still slowly ticking away. What are your thoughts on the UMA information released earlier today? $14 booster packs, lol. I don't know what to say other than $14 booster packs, lol. Why can't they play Terminus? They can pay 6 mana and cast this Terminus that's in their hand. Should I relog just in case I'm the one disconnected? Nope, it's them. Got it. They have white right here. Listen, chat. All I'm going to say is they've seen how successful $10 booster packs are at selling. They saw how successful their Mythic Edition Planeswalkers were at selling. And as long as people keep buying stuff at those prices, you can and should expect those prices to keep going like this. That's just how it's gonna work. If people keep paying it, why shouldn't they keep charging it? Why shouldn't they keep pushing the limit? That's how capitalism works. This stream is founded on principles like that, chat. The founding principles of Hoaglandia are capitalism, and don't you ever forget it. Oh no. Oh no. They're required by law to make as much money from you as possible. Ain't that the God's honest truth? Alright, so I'm gonna eat 2 creatures out of my bin to get Scavenging Ooze out of Lightning Bolt range. And then I'm gonna start eating their Path to Exiles, I think. Yeah, there's a lot of really great and caring people who work at Wizards of the Coast and, like, love the game and want it to be a success. And I think a lot of people naively assume that, like, the people who love and care about the game are the ones that get to make all the decisions regarding the game. And that just, like, can't be further from the truth, right? Like, Hasbro and Wizards, they're for-profit companies made by people who want to make money. It's just how it works. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's how this stuff works. Like, it's not unique to Wizards. Sure. This deck good compared to other decks in the format? Probably not. Define good is a great question to ask. Is this the last deck of the day? Yeah, probably. This league's been going for 50 minutes. This is match 2, right? Yeah, this is probably the last deck of the day. Alright, I'm gonna cut my Birds of Paradise. I'm gonna cut my Settle the Wreckages. I probably want to cut some of these paths. Leave some of these birds in. We went 3-2 with Mill. Just confirmed a real modern deck. That was a scrappy win. If you're wondering why Goyf and Snapcaster Mage are mythics, you should watch this clip because you're confused as to the purpose of master sets. A misunderstanding of what their goal is. I wouldn't fault anyone for mulliganing this hand, but I think it's in the realm of keepable. Like, Goyf and Dark Confidant are just like this giant monument to the fact that price memory exists. Land. Nagate. Show me Jace the Mind Sculptor. Oglandia only has 2 shareholders to please and only one that really counts. Yep. We're going to incorporate Hoglandia as a real thing soon. We're going to be an LLC chat. We're gonna. I made sure my wife. I was like, when we incorporate, we have to make sure we call it Hoglandia, and she was on board with that. I didn't play the bird there because it's likely to die. Case in point, and I would really like to negate a Teferi next turn. The lack of a secondary market on Magic Arena is beautiful and wonderful. I have no idea what legal terms mean, Jackal Girl. I am currently standing up. Clacker, I want you to think for a minute how awful Magic Online would be if bots didn't exist. Could you imagine trying to get cards trading with people? No, we're not going to trade shares publicly. We're incorporating for tax and legal reasons. I think we might be dead, chat. Let me buy shares of Huglandia. I think it's a bad joke that Faithless Looting is still a legal Magic card. Can I get a land, please? Thank you. Why am I standing? I have a desk that has motors in the legs, so I split my time sitting and standing. I do a little bit of standing and a little bit of sitting. I go up and down, because sitting for too long makes my back feel bad. This deck is like the antithesis of all terrible things Magic players wish were good in Modern, but really aren't. All right, so I want to leave up mana for Spell Queller without having to fetch shock, and just in case my bird dies. There wasn't a fairy deck at the Grand Prix. There was a blue-black control deck that was piloted by somebody who loves Spellstutter Sprite as much as I do, so they failed to cut it. Probably mean a different word. Antithesis does mean opposite, doesn't it? I agree. Epitome. Epitome is probably a good way to phrase it. We're bolting me. Yep. That is definitely what this game is about. Thanks for the Twitch Prime support there, Potato David. I appreciate that. Welcome. Goodbye, friends. We have one card left. I think we stumbled a little bit too long here. That's a lightning bolt. It's a point of health to gain, chat. Do 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 do. Think Thief of Sanity could be Modern playable? No. The types of games that Thief of Sanity is good in tend to not be the types of games that get played in Modern. There's also, because there's so many random combo decks in Modern, it's harder to guarantee that you're getting a card that's meaningful out of your opponent's deck. And just draw another Terminus, sure. What an interesting and engaging Magic the Gathering card. Gross. Alright, so they know about this Courser. It's really easy. The people that think making Modern less degenerate is complicated are silly. Just Faithless Looting and Ancient Stirrings. It's really easy. I mean, to be fair, the tools that popped up to make Terminus really good are new tools. Can I dodge a burn spell again? They're pausing, so I feel like I'm dodging a burn spell again. And then I have this negate with this Teferi. Well, that pressures Jace in the long run. I'm going to hold on to this because it can gain me a health with Courser later. I don't really need the land. This deck feels like a weird version of Bant Super Friends that just like has mana dorks instead of Terminuses in it. We've played Bant Super Friends on stream a number of times before. Probably dead, I'd assume here. I'm gonna get snap bolted. We stumbled a little bit in the early game here. That's fine, we get to take game 3 on the play. Fumbled and bumbled just a little bit too long. Yes, Bronze. A lot of the good Eldrazi decks didn't even play Ancient Stirrings. Blue-White Eldrazi was considered the best Eldrazi deck by the end of it. Go back and do a history report. You'll see that Ancient Stirrings had nothing to do with Eldrazi Winter. We're an hour and 10 minutes into this league on match 2. Lordy. Well, if this game takes as long as the first one, they'll time out, so we've got that going for us. Not that that makes particularly good or engaging content, but it's something that we can think about. I guess this is a white source eventually. That's not true, Matt Maxon. We've 3-2'd and 4-1 the last 3 leagues we played with Sultai Control, and they've all been 2.5-hour leagues. Which is, you know, factually incorrect. I don't think it's worth thinking about, does banning this thing kill this deck? Because they're not going to ban anything in Modern. It's just not how the format works. Why should I tuck Jace with Teferi? So this does let them negate my Jace next turn, but then they're like not negating my Teferi. And I need to just like start slamming my cards here, I think. I also need white mana for this down the line. I'm gonna go ahead and plus Jace here so it doesn't just die to Bolt. Get my Scry on. I almost feel bad for how many people during Eldrazi Winter started playing Kiki Chord because I did okay with it. Kind of pulled a fast one on the Magic community. I could tuck their Jace, but I really just don't want to lose my Planeswalkers to their burn spells. That's pretty good for us. Kiki Chord was fun. That's true. It was a good time. It was like the epitome of a toolbox deck. It's like everything you want to be doing as far as toolbox C is concerned. So next turn, I jam Courser with Negate up. Noble Hierarch, pass the turn. Tap some lands here. I guess if I discarded one of my cards to hand size, I could have had Negate plus Spell Queller up here, which maybe is better. I'm only going to have 4 mana available when I could have had 5. Stoneforge Mystic isn't even good against burn. It's too slow. And they have Searing Blooded, Searing Blaze, and Skullcrack, and lots of other things that are good against it. Lightning Bolt, Lightning Helix. Listen, chat. There's one thing I want you to take away from this stream, and it's very important. Don't engage with people who think Stoneforge Mystic is too good for Modern. Remove them from your dialogues and move on with your life. You'll be a happier person. Not everybody is smart enough to be worth having a discussion with. Not everybody is worth engaging. Your life will be much happier when you realize that not everybody is worth engaging. Life is much less frustrating when you learn when to let things go. And some people are genuinely stupid, and other people aren't stupid, but they're just looking to, like, get a rise out of people, which arguably those people are worse. At least, like, people who are stupid, you can just write it off to, oh, they don't know any better. You should also remove people from your life that think Splinter Twin's too good for Modern. Life's also too short to deal with them. There's a lot of noise in life, chat. If there's one thing you take away from my stream, it's that you should remove noise from your life. Life's too short. Do I care about this Ancestral Vision? I don't think I do. I think this Spell Queller and this Negate are just on, like, Protect Teferi duty. Yeah, but like Modern is a format full of decks that people hate playing against. I think I dislike playing against the deck is like really far from a reasonable reason to remove things. Oh, we're terminusing. I was like, why are they doing this on my turn? They're terminusing. Got you. I'll be playing Grishelbrand anytime soon. You can always find the deck queue on my website. jeffhoagland.com. Click live stream. Click deck queue. You're approved to the queue and the PayPal went through on the 1st. Just curious when to, if it's not already in the queue after you've donated for it, if a deck you donate for is not added to the queue the same day you donated for it, you should message me in private because that probably means I missed it. Likely, the reason I most often miss donation decks is because the person submitting it doesn't link the deck list in their donation message like I asked them to. Because there's so many donations and messages that it's very hard for me to keep track of what's where if the deck's not linked in the message. Why not Queller the Opt? That's a good suggestion. Because I missed it, is the answer to your question. Queller the Opt is a good suggestion. Well, if I Quellered the Opt, I'd get to attack the Jace for lethal, which is a worthwhile thing to be able to do. So like being able to take their Jace off the table would be decent for us, even if we were getting Terminus the following turn. Yeah, that's true. You could also, like, putting all of our eggs in the we're going to ult this Teferi and win the game that way basket seems pretty reasonable because, like, we're at 21. So, like, if we ult this Teferi, they probably can't beat the Emblem. Is the opponent going to timeout? Most likely. Yeah, and I'm not sure they're going to be able to stop this Teferi from ulting through Negate plus Spell Queller at only 5 lands. Please don't spam my chat. Posting nonsense counts as spam. I think I'm going to decline searching here. I want the click that's on top of my deck. Yeah, if they obstructionist me, I'll just concede. The card's pretty uncommon. Click before ulting is a good suggestion. All right, do you have another bolt? All right, I'm gonna click myself and exile their Jace. Because the click wasn't in my hand. All right, you got 2 minutes. Beat my Teferi Emblem. Shouldn't you Queller the Knot? You can't Queller the Knot. X spells have the X as their converted mana cost, included in their converted mana cost. Yeah, that the Logic Knot for X to 7 had a CMC of, you know, a lot. While they're on the stack, they include the X. Sure. Here's hoping we draw a Jace of our own. I like the opponent bolting us there. I feel like bolting us shows that they know what this game is about. I'm actually going to kill the Azcanta here and try and attack Jace. With the Teferi emblem, we're definitely the control deck. Yeah, so if they're activating this, like I get to kill the Jace this turn. And then like I have this path to beat the Colonnade. Now I have the path for the Colonnade. Think of the 3 targets, like Jace, Colonnade's like the worst of the 3 that I could be taking there. I'm gonna go ahead and play the Scavenging Ooze out. Shut off a Snapcaster Mage. Get rid of their better cards out of their graveyard. This Stirring Wildwood staying on defense. Yeah, I don't think the opponent can win the game from here at all. Like Snapcaster Mage is one of their better chances. Like I have the Stirring Wildwood and I have this path. And they have 30 seconds, so like... Oh, is that a good one? What do we think of that one, chat? All right, I think I'm actually just supposed to let this resolve because I don't want to just get like triple bolted out of the game. Tick tock. Tick tock. Bye, friend. What an incredibly tedious game of Magic the Gathering. I mean, I guess we had some. The first game was really sweet, you know? How are we doing, folks? Welcome. My name is Jeff Hogan. I'm a full-time streamer and content producer here on Twitch. I'm here playing Magic 30+ hours a week. We play nothing but constructed Magic on this channel. I play a ton of Modern on Magic Online. I play some Standard on Magic Arena. If you're enjoying my stuff, please consider subscribing to my channel. My subscribers are the people that keep me employed here full-time. I love what I do, but the reason that I'm able to do it as often as I do it is because of all their wonderful support. Past subscribing, you can also support my stuff by checking out some of my very wonderful sponsors. MTGOtraders.com. I love to buy and sell some Magic Online cards with you. And if you use code Hoagland PayPal, I check out them. You'll save 8% on your singles orders there. Are you someone that thinks you always find the best line while playing Magic? Why don't you put your skills to the test? Head on over to PossibilityStorm.com and find over 80 Magic puzzles. They put new puzzles out every week that have a very wide range of difficulties on them. They're expert level challenges and their rare level challenges are actually very, very challenging. CoolStuffInc.com buy and sells a lot of cool stuff, including TCG singles. Using promo code Jeff5, you can take 5% on Magic, Pokemon, Warhammer, and Yu-Gi-Oh cards with them. And of course, BCW Supplies, love to help protect your very valuable Magic the Gathering cards. They do wonderful sleeves, deck boxes, and all sorts of other great stuff. And you can save 10% on your orders at bcwsupplies.com using code Jeff10. Let's head back down on into the match here. Are we 2-0? Fuck, we're 2-0, aren't we? We are currently undefeated with this pile of wonderful Magic cards. Actually, Anaronics, if I'm being completely honest, if Magic Arena didn't exist, I would probably still be doing a bunch of standard content. This current standard format is very, very good. It is the best format of Magic I have ever played. The person who I banned for saying Splinter Twin was too good for Modern with no further validation, they messaged me letting me know I'm very irritable. I'm not irritable, you're just stupid and lazy. It doesn't, you making this lazy statement that's like very, very wrong doesn't make me irritable. I don't care, you're just another random on Twitch chat that's got more opinions than you do facts and sense and logic. And nothing personal against you. I don't gotta be irritable to ban an idiot. Put my opinions validate me, Hogland. Not everybody's opinion is worth hearing. Anner, you play Diablo and other real video games. How do you not like Arena? And trust me when I say that you are in an extreme minority that does not like Arena based on a number of metrics for your irritability. Yeah, Arena is an actual Magic video game. It's very, very good. It does in fact take more resources to play an actual video game than it does to play our spreadsheet here. Honest answer, I'm not familiar with newer standard cards, and while trying to follow it, I prefer to read the cards in hand. Oh, you watch on mobile a lot, right, Inner? So if you're watching on the desktop, Magic Arena actually has an interface where you can mouse over the cards on the screen and get them zoomed in. It's actually much easier to read cards that you don't know on Arena when you're watching on the PC. Am I just pathing this? I might just be pathing this. There's really no reason to path proactively, right? The lack of Tireless Trackers in this deck is really sad. I have all these poopy Knight of the Reliquaries instead of cards that draw cards. Yeah, that makes sense, Inner. All Magic content, all TCG and card game content is largely unwatchable if you don't have access to what the cards do. Yeah, the fact that you can like check all of the zones is just like A+. Like check graveyards and stuff like that. I have to disagree with you calling Magic the Gathering Excel. I'm currently studying Microsoft Access and it's so clunky and awkward. Bezo Bucks, happy to click the button every month for hanging out in Discord. Thanks, Josh, for the 4 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Glad you enjoying the Discord. A lot of good chats there. Man, this card got a lot worse in the face of what's it called? In the face of Assassin's Trophy, this card's pretty bad, right? I think I'm going to cut these Settle the Wreckages because they're really bad against discard spells. Dromoka's command probably isn't good enough. The creatures tend to be bigger than mine. Trim a mana dork. Board down to 31 mana sources. One's Warkite Marauders main over Exclusion Mage. I don't think I've seen any builds that play Exclusion Mage in the main deck. I think most of the mono blue lists I've seen have Mage in the board. As somebody who's tried to make Life from the Loam work a lot, Anna, you'd probably really like Standard. Grindy decks like that are very good there. Thanks for making my afternoon bearable. If you could send a time out my way, I'd appreciate it. I got you, Wee McGee. I am shuffling a casual red-green madness deck that contains legacy staples such as Deepwood Drummer. Look at him, he's gonna beat on that drum straight out of Mercadian Masks Limited. This card probably wasn't even limited playable. Now, Grand Prix next weekend. Is the PT this weekend? I forget. This weekend is the Pro Tour, right? Genuinely don't know. I might adjust my stream schedule a small bit for Friday. Normally I start Friday afternoon, but I probably don't want to overlap the Pro Tour. The PT's in Atlanta, right? So it's Eastern time. The standard format, it just generates what I can just like unequivocally describe as genuinely good games of Magic the Gathering. Just unreal how good the quality of gameplay is in the format.
what I want to know? Have I just missed it? Is there like there's a Pro Tour this weekend somewhere when I log in here? Why doesn't it tell me when I log into Arena that the Pro Tour is this weekend? Wait, right? Like, shouldn't that be a thing? Shouldn't I log into these things? They should say, hey, idiot, come watch our stuff. Hey, idiot, come watch our stuff. Tell me to come watch your stuff, Wizards of the Coast. Please. You locked out my wallet, Sculptor. It's rude. How am I supposed to sculpt your wallet, opponent? They put sponsored streamers into Arena, but nothing about the Pro Tour. That says speaks volumes about what's going on, doesn't it? We got Day 9's and Gabby Sparks' faces in the Arena client, but not a blip about the Pro Tour anywhere. And don't get me wrong, I think the streamer events on Magic Arena, the Day 9 and the Gabby Sparks, I think those things are great. And it's awesome that they exist, but the fact that they exist and we don't also have PT coverage is just like, there should be a thing when I log into Arena that like says, hey, the Magic Twitch stream is live, come watch. How hot would that be? That would be like incredibly hot, right? So they probably have a stubborn denial, right? They probably have a stubborn denial. What would the Jeff Hoagland streamer format be? I have no idea. I don't play weird things. So if they have stub, I'd prefer they stub this path, right? So I'm gonna upkeep, draw this path, and then path their Death Shadow. I guess I've missed 4 points of damage here. If I path and they don't have a stub or they don't use it, I could have attacked for 4 here. So maybe I'm supposed to try and path on my turn. The 1 point of resource efficiency on the blue mana later probably doesn't matter. I don't play weird formats, right? Like we play a lot of casual decks. We don't play casual formats, right? All decks are submission. You log in and are given a random deck. Yeah, actually sounds like a good one. What?
It must have been a misclick, right? Let me play out this third 3-drop real quick here. They're gonna proliferate it next turn and just get us. Yeah, I think I'm gonna raise the garbage threshold from the current 25 it's been to be closer to 50 to 100. If there's a chance I'm gonna get through the league and be like 2 matches in and just be like, this deck is awful, we're gonna make it more. It's just like getting beat up playing stuff like that. Just like not a very good content. All right, what do you got? Olorox, give me more Kiki. Speaking of decks that are so bad after 2 matches, we'll want to get rid of them. Does that mean you'll actually play the league or just pocket the cash and still bail on it? I don't know what you mean by pocket the cash and bail on it, Langler. The donation deck submissions have always very clearly stated that I play a minimum of 2 matches with the decks. Vedic is a complete and utter non-functional train wreck. It gets 2 matches and then we're done. It gets 2 chances to not be a steaming pile of poop and then we check out. It's in the FAQ. Yeah. You don't want me to bail after 2 matches potentially? Submit better decks. I don't know. Even if I was contractually obliged, I figure I cover my bases pretty well in the FAQ and how it's set up. Honestly, this is the best stream setup anybody could ever ask for, right? I get paid to play decks and it's never my fault when I lose because the deck was just bad. If I win, it's because I played masterfully. And if I lose, it's because the deck submission wasn't very good. It's like a win-win, chat. It's like, what's the old magic adage? I only lose because I'm very unlucky and I always win because I'm skillful. It's like the monetized version of that. Wow, turn 2, traverse with Delirium and get Death Shadow into play. That's like really good. Chat, I have Jace the Mind Sculptor. How could they ever possibly win if we're sculpting their minds? Jake the Mind Scooper, right? Thoughtseize me, baby. Joke's on you. I drew. See, look. This is my Jace's busto, chat. It's too strong, too big to get Inquisition. Ugh. Oh, God. Why does it hurt so much? Chat. Chat. Why does it hurt? Why would I want to attack the Death Shadow deck for one, Chef Seth? Why would I want to attack for one? The Path was a good draw, though. As far as, like, good draws goes, definitely towards the top. Inquisition, the top of my deck, opponent. Get that one. Remember when Vendilion Shackles was played? I top baited an open with Vendilion Shackles in my deck. I had Vendilion Shackles, Boomerang, and Aether Spouts. That's right, top baited an open with Aether Spouts in our modern deck. It was a simpler time, chat. Tarmogoyf was playable then. How much to take your shuffling deck to Eternal Weekend? So this is getting a Death Shadow. You ever feel like your graveyard-based tutor deck didn't get hosed enough by Graveyard Hate to begin with, so you put more graveyard-based tutors in it? You think Modern will slowly become obsolete? No. I do think Modern is destined to become increasingly more linear, though, if it's not managed. What are the odds there's a basic island in their deck? Let's find out. The reason Legacy is going to eventually become obsolete is because of the reserved list, not because of other formats. Magic's a game that has lots of people in it, lots of players, and lots of cards. So, like, having more ways to play with your cards is a good thing. Magic the Gathering. Okay. For those of you that haven't read this book before, this isn't going to resolve, but I have like the 30 seconds of hope before I trade my 6 mana for their 1 mana and then die. I'm so confused. I don't understand. Oh God, we're about to get Golgari Charmed, aren't we? Woo! Woo! Wipe the sweat off my brow. I thought we were about to get got by a Golgari Charm. That was gonna be. I guess Golgari Charm killed us regardless there, because it would have killed the tokens too, right? Woo! Woo! Thanks, B-Boy. Our teeth are gonna fall out, chat. There's just so much candy. Yeah, Big Elspeth is just like lights out for all these mid-range decks. And it looks like they're not playing red, so they don't have Temur Battle Rage. They do have this Golgari Charm, so like maybe they can push through the tokens with that, but Yeah. She's a big gal, chat. Thick is how the kids would describe Elspeth. All right. I heard you like bombs, chat. Biggity bombs. Bomb diggity. Trust me, Brendan, when I say if you donated for me to play a bunch of Suns champions, we would just play against Tron and die. So, the application I'm playing right now is called Magic the Gathering Online. And the big difference between Magic the Gathering Online and the reason we're playing it instead of Arena currently is Magic has, 25 years worth of cards. So, I'm currently playing what's called Modern, which if you're familiar with Hearthstone, it would be equivalent to, similar to their Wild format. So, it's an older format that contains a deeper card pool. I don't know why I blocked like this. Do you know why I blocked like that, chat? Because we're so embarrassingly far ahead, it doesn't matter. That's why I blocked like that. Man, which member? So there's 2 artifacts in graveyards. You know, I thought about making a dis and then separate member and spell emote so you could use the dis member and dis spell. I might still do that at some point. I might replace some of the ones we have. How many things do they have in their bin? They have 1, 2, 3 creatures. So I can actually eat this artifact and eat 3 creatures. And then this won't have delirium anymore. We have a shill emote. The Kool-Aid picture is Justin's emote. Justin gets to pick what happens with that emote. Justin, Nivik, and Anoronics have their own emotes. Because they've funded large portions of Hoaglandia. Lay the Land resolves. Oh, look at that. You paid 1 mana and discarded a card. What a powerful Magic card. Nivik has his face. I like how we're still playing Magic here, opponent. So I honestly might not be able to finish this league if all these matches take this long. We're 2 hours into this league.
I have to be gone by 3:30. Don't bait bingo squares, Urkdar. Yeah, this is match 3. So we should have time for a 4th match, but I might not get to a 5th on stream. Here's hoping we get infected so we can see match 5. Lol. This one's been a bit of a slog. (3-0) time for Tron. Yep, conceding to a Tron piece. 10 out of 10 conceding to turn 1 Tron piece. Get to the last match. That's true. The Hoogle Loud emote we could probably swap out. Look at my opponent and I. We're such smart, thin Magic the Gathering players, squaring off with our Birds of Paradise. Our incredibly fair decks of Magic the Gathering. There's a Celestial Colonnade in this deck. How on earth have we played 2 hours of Magic with this deck and not drawn a Celestial Colonnade before? I'm actually kind of impressed. I'm actually kind of impressed that this card is in my deck right now. What is going on? Does anybody know? Does anybody know what is like possibly going on? Temur, maybe? Yeah, I guess it could be Temur Kiki, right? Temur Kiki plays all the cards my opponent has cast so far. Temur versus Bant. This is like, I feel like when people talk about Modern and they have like these sweet ideas in their head, they're just like envisioning this as the matchup. This is Modern to them. It's like my Voice of Resurgences versus your Tireless Trackers. It's like good clean living. Yeah, Temur Kiki. The opponent's deck is awesome, by the way, chat. And if you want to see matches played with their deck, you should check out my YouTube channel on my website. I need to plug my website more. My website's awesome and I put a lot of work into it. So you should 10 out of 10 check it out. Maybe I'm supposed to trade with the Scoos there. All right, here's hoping they combo kill me so I can concede. Yeah, yep, Temur Kiki Evolution most likely. What kind of backend does your site run on? WordPress? I mean, if they don't have a combo kill, we're kind of in a good spot at the moment. We've been playing this league for over 2 hours, Civilized Scholar.
But the flip side is we haven't lost a match, so 6 in one hand, half dozen in the other. So I think I play my own skews here then, right? So I can fight over what they have going on. This also lets me hold up Spell Queller so I don't die to Eldritch Evolution. Correct. This is arguably the best deck in Modern. I'm not a big fan of the desk that I have, Drax. I'd recommend just doing some research for standing desks and reading a lot of reviews. I'm actually pretty unhappy with this brand. I'm going to be replacing it when Christy and I move later this winter. I think I'm going to pick a fight here with the Skews. Who ordered all this? Damn, what's going on, Fliptos? Thanks for the 7 months. Yeah, we are still undefeated. This tracker's got all sorts of hats on him. Yeah, we're just moving we're just moving inside of town. The home we have now is a little bit older. We've saved up over the last couple years. I'm gonna move into something that's a little bit newer and nicer. So I think I want to shuffle this Bird of Paradise away. Why do I get an ad when I'm subbed? You have to ask Twitch. Subscribers should not get adverts on my channel. Yeah, Teferi plus Eat Voice sounds right. Well, actually, I don't want to Eat Voice because then if they draw an Eldritch Revolution, I get comboed. Oh, did I forget to tweet? I probably forgot to tweet. Yeah, always friendly leagues. I'm not a big fan of gambling while I play Magic, or gambling as little as possible. Subs aren't supposed to get Twitch advertisements, Lau. If they have actual factual Kiki-Jiki, we're just dead. Because they have been missing the 5th mana source, so like if this bird gives them the 5th mana, yeah, kill me, baby. Nah, worship's not very good. They have a bunch of creatures that tutor. They have a bunch of tutors and stuff to kill enchantments. Bounding Grixis and Kiki-Jiki are infinite 3/3s. No, Temur Kiki plays things like Eldritch Evolution to tutor up the pieces. Someone linked the deck list from my website earlier, MTG Duress. Carp Pacem, thank you for the 2-month resub. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Just want to see the dancing gesture before I head into work. Keep up the entertaining content. Thank you, Furious Squirrel. Yeah, the matchup variance in Modern's really brutal. If we'd hit a bunch of Tron lands, we probably would have been done playing by now, but we just haven't, so like we get to keep playing Magic. I think Knight's just pretty bad in general. They had Kiki Jiki and we died. Like actual Kiki Jiki, not Eldritch Evolution, so we couldn't Spell Queller it. Because Big Ugly Goblin costs 5. I'm gonna block here because they want to use a bolt to kill my Courser. I'd rather they killed my Courser than my Jace. So they can make this a 3/3 and then bolt Courser, but I'm okay with that. They do not, Labrador. They try to parry you based on record, but they don't try very hard. What Brennan said, Gank? Tuesdays, Wednesday night, and Fridays are standard. I've already played 2 bolts, so I'm gonna go ahead and brainstorm here. Put these 2 back. You know, a really interesting ratio is I feel like we have so many more people showing up while we're playing Modern asking when we're playing Standard than in comparison to when we're playing Standard asking when we're playing Modern. Which I'm sure is going to encourage a bunch of people to come ask when are we playing X now, but just an observation. This is worse against this. I'm just going to move along. Hopefully we get to play against Burn or something faster this last one. I really just don't have another slog in me. Yeah, Standard's been a lot of fun. Arena is more fun to play than Magic Online. And the amount of views, both average concurrent viewers on Twitch and future views on YouTube is much, much higher for Standard. I just need Standard to stay good until October, next October. So that way, if it starts to suck again, we could play a new non-rotating format on Arena. Because we'll have a new format on Arena next October, most likely. No, but they said that they're going to have a solution to rotation on Arena next fall when cards rotate. So it has to be by then. May I sculpt your mind? Do I want to lose this to Lightning Bolt or Temur Battle Rage? I think I'd rather lose it to Lightning Bolt. They usually play 2 of each. I don't think Grixis Shadow plays 4 of either at this point. I'm going to hide the Settle on top of my deck, I think. Am I? Yeah, probably. Hard time imagining Kaladesh, the format, will be terribly interesting. I mean, they haven't said where it's starting, Mardoff. They could very easily not include Kaladesh, or they could go back further so there's powerful cards that ellipse it, or they could just have a ban list to start so the offensive things from there don't exist at the start of the format. Are we gonna dismember my thing? We're thought seizing, okay. Honestly, I hope the new format just starts at Ixalan. I hope they just take the standard sets we have now and start there. If I'm being completely honest. I mean, I don't understand. Every time I mention the new format and people compare it to Extended, I just want to like pull my hair out because it's explicitly non-rotating, which makes it nothing like Extended. If it's non-rotating, it is then automatically nothing like Extended. Extended was a rotating format. Extended was double standard. But it's nothing like it, Pikes. It's non-rotating. That by definition is nothing like Extended. What defined Extended was the fact that it rotated. A lot of these decks don't play a third basic, right? Yeah, Wasteland you. It's one of those little things where, like, being familiar with the approximate deck list for a lot of these decks gives you an edge in formats like this. That was an aggressive Cycle Street Wraith concede, but I'll take it, I guess. This is a worship matchup. They usually don't play... The opponent's deck usually doesn't play Collective Brutality, right? I mean, what do I cut here? I trim. Nissa's kind of slow. All right, they have them in the board. I'm just gonna cut this card. I'm gonna trim a Settle the Wreckage because I got them with it and I don't want to get it stuck in my hand. What happens in 4 minutes, Pythrion? How is it you promote shaving when you don't shave yourself? So, when a man has testosterone in their body and it produces hair on their face, believe it or not, this hair that grows like, you know, this like strap around my chin, it doesn't do that all on its own auto-magically. Believe it or not, my body doesn't grow in this perfect ratio. In fact, if you look here, you can see my neck beard starting to creep back in and on my cheeks. I need to head into the bathroom and use my Harry's razor again soon. Need to be like, you know, get a little dirty on the side. It's not dirt on my face. That's hair popping in. Comments like that. It's so incredibly difficult as an advertiser as a streamer to be like, is that a genuine question? Is that person genuinely that clueless? Or are they a troll? And maybe those are the best trolls, right? Where you don't know? Like, are you genuinely this clueless? Or is this a troll? I just will my hair into place. Why do you need a vacuum if your house is already clean? All right, so Forest, cast the incredibly powerful Gray Ogre. This is your first and only warning. We do not use the word retarded in a derogatory fashion on this channel. You do it again, you will be permanently banned. This is a 6/6. I'm still at a good healthy 20. Woof. PCGH. What is a good Knight matchup? I am of the opinion that Knight is one of the biggest trap cards in Modern. It's this card that people constantly put in your deck that is aggressively mediocre. Is there a list of words to not use? The ones that demean and make fun of people for conditions that they have that are not their fault, that they have no control over. That's generally a good list of things that words you shouldn't use. Play the incredibly powerful 3/3 for 3 here. And I'm going to crack this first just in case we hit a Path to Exile. Nah, you have control over having a neck beard. It's like you have control over whether or not you stink. You can take a shower, put some deodorant on. That's my Pandora station. People often ask what music would I be playing if I played music while I streamed, and the answer is that Pandora station. It's not about being politically correct. It's about having empathy towards others
and respecting the experiences that other humans have had that might differ from your own. When people complain about others requiring them to be politically correct, what they generally mean is that they're upset that other people won't let them be rude or let them be inconsiderate to others. So I think I'm going to go ahead and play Field of Rune here, so that way if I draw another path, I can cast it. I think we're mostly dead here, right? So I can jump block here, take 5, go to 2. I guess I can rip a Settle the Wreckage and not die. Captain Fireblade, thank you very much for the Prime support. I appreciate that. Welcome. Thanks for keeping me employed here with that this month. Nice. Quick round turnover is just A+. Man, chat, I have Jace the Mind Sculptor. How could they possibly win? If you don't have control over your neckbeard, have you considered trying Harry's? It's a great thing to try. Harry's would love to help you get control over it. If you are pro tip, if you are going to post something that is blatantly incorrect on the internet, at least make sure it isn't easily validated as a lie. I feel like that's the big thing. That's if you're at least going to lie. Did I have a typo? Did I have a typo? I did have a typo. I'm fixing it. I forgot the most important part of Jeff does social media. Read the comment back to yourself. Just like people like that, when people bring up bullshit like that, just like it's like Twin was 2 to 6 decks in every top 8. It literally wasn't. It literally wasn't. No, you have to delete and resend them. Do you really think cutting 1 hour of your daily streaming time would have a big... I don't know what that has to do, Lau. What did anyone say anything about cutting anything? No, my Warhammer spoiler will go up in about an hour.
Rude. How incredibly unlucky. Drew the second land, so we have to play the match. Yeah, no problem, Stan. I think that's one of the reasons my content has been so successful is because I make a point to make myself accessible. I do my best to respond to messages whenever I can. I don't always get them, but I will. I get to them. I catch as many as I can. They took my click. Look at that. Drew the next land. I hope they don't go back and watch this and find out we just like Dirty Lucker drew all the lands. Magic's tough game, chat. Twin was banned. Well, they didn't thought seize us before we drew the second land. They knew we top decked the third land. Twin was banned because they were having a modern Pro Tour, and Splinter Twin had existed at several Pro Tours before that one. So they banned Splinter Twin to create variety for the Pro Tour. Fetch land. Man, look at how unlucky we are. Didn't draw a land this turn. Just the most unlucky. I think I'm actually going to play the tracker out. So, like, the tracker is weak to removal and play, but it's weak to discard spells in our hand. So, like, it's like 6 in one hand, half dozen in the other. According to MTG Top 8, the last 5 major modern events with Twin legal had a total of 7 combined Twin decks in their top 8s. That's so funny. So super punished for my sequencing decision there, because we drew the fetch land this turn. Especially with the Culligan's Command being the card that they had. That's such a sick metric, Klets. 7 twin decks in 5 top 8s before it got banned. All right, so I'm going to make them cast this so that way they go to 3 at least. They're going to play a Death Shadow or a Delve Threat here, and then I'll be in top deck mode. I don't have any more trackers in my deck, but holding this fetch has value because if I draw a Courser, I can scry the top of my deck with it. Modern is a format full of decks that people hate. If we ban decks because people dislike them, Tron would never have been allowed to be legal in this format. I don't have a second Horizon Canopy in this deck, do I? Can we just talk about how much better this Knight of the Reliquary would be if it had just been like another Tireless Tracker here? So they're dead to Jace, Teferi, Path. Or Birds of Paradise, you know? The incredibly powerful Birds of Paradise. Maybe I should have tapped differently last turn to chump block the Death Shadow. Does it have like double Doomblade here? Yeah, good games, opponent. So this was this afternoon's testament to if you hit the right matchups, anything can 3-2 in Modern. That's going to be it for me for today. If you want my closing thoughts on this deck, I think it's very bad. I think the quality of interaction that it has doesn't make up for its really, really aggressive, weak lack of a clock. I think this mess of 3-drops is some kind of nonsense. Like, some of these 3-drops are better than the others. Play 4 of the good ones. I think Knight of the Reliquary is one of the biggest traps that exists in Modern. That's all I got. I'll be back tomorrow with some Standard on Arena, and I'll be back Wednesday morning with some more Modern on Magic Online. Thanks everyone for hanging out today, and I'll catch y'all around. Remember,